Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tullahoma Shopping. This is the first episode we're going to do about shopping Tullahoma local businesses. Today we're going to go to Taylor's Archery, where he has a large variety of different activities for both adults and our youth. So let's go on in and see what Tracy's got for us. I am here with Tracy Taylor, owner of Taylor's Archery here in Tullahoma, Tennessee. And Tracy, pretty much y'all cater to the youth, the adults, anybody that's interested in archery.
Pretty much.
And what all, I know you repair bows, you sell bows, but I've seen y'all working on bows, people talking about their draws not right. I have no idea.
We're a full service pro shop, so it's, I guess if you've done golf, it's kind of like going to a golf pro shop. We don't just sell them, we work on them to help fit right, get you set up right, work on them when you break them. So we're retail, service, coaching, whole 9 yards pretty much.
Well, y'all hold a lot of tournaments during the year.
We do, yeah, we do some indoor stuff in the winter, and we just got done with a charity tournament, our first charity tournament about, Saturday will be 3 weeks ago.
Well, I know I came out to one of them and shot some of them, and you have 3D both inside and then you have outside shooting. That 3D is outside though, right?
Yes.
And then what do you refer to as the inside?
Well, the inside would be you're just shooting paper. So you're shooting there's different paper targets, but you're just shooting paper inside, depending on the age, at either 10 or 20 yards. 3D, you're shooting at life-sized foam, three-dimensional animals with scoring rings on them, different yardages.
What's some of your youngest students?
The youngest we've ever had on that started, I think, is about 4.5, and now she's around 10, I think. So
y'all been doing this quite a while.
Yeah, I've been doing it since '92.
Okay, well now you
in business since '92.
Well, you sell targets, you sell bows, you sell crossbows, longbows. Now, what's the difference?
Well, crossbow is basically you cock it, pull the string back, cock it, it stays cocked. So basically all you do is worry about shooting it. It looks kind of like a bow gun combination, but it's still archery. You don't need to be shooting at animals at 100 yards with it.
All right. For
most people. But then you got the recurves and the longbows are, old wood. Most of them, they're old wood style, no cams, just a single string. You pull it back and shoot it, and then you got the compounds. That's what most people shoot. It's got, multiple cams on them.
Well, now the longbow is what the Indians use.
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
And then the crossbows, I guess, is what an old man like me would use. Cause,
it just depends.
I tried pulling some bows back, and some of them have a pretty...
Yeah, it's just, you can adjust that, though. That's adjustable.
Where it just fits the different person.
Most people. There's people with injuries that can't do it, but we've outfitted, just off the top of my head, at least 2 people that were missing a complete limb or part of a limb. And one of the guys had rigged up his own harness with his release hooked to a camera plunger so he could shoot it with his tongue.
Are you serious?
Yes. He could hook his bow string to his release that was kind of in this area and push it away from him, and then he had a camera plunger that run to his mouth so he could shoot it with his tongue. And we had another guy that was missing his arm, up into his shoulder, and we made a mouth tab for him so he could bite down on the mouth tab, push it away from him, and just open his mouth to shoot it.
Well, I've seen the guy, and I talked to Jackson about this, that has no arms.
Yeah, the armless archer, he's awesome.
He is a piece of work now.
Yes, you should see him change brakes on a vehicle, or load a revolver.
Are you serious? I've not seen those, but I haven't seen this other.
He's a good guy.
And he's amazing. But I guess I'm pointing this out because there's children, and this is what really gets to me, because I compare this archery a lot with the horse industry. There's a lot of children out here that are youth that they can't do hard physical sports. And I always said horseback riding is something that anybody can do. We've had children with heart conditions and everything on horse, but that's something that fits right into this, that this is something that no matter what the problem is, pretty much y'all can solve it.
Most of the time, if you're coachable, we can do something with you.
Well, that's the main thing, and I know I'm very partial to you, Coach, and I'm very proud.
He's an
of
okay
it.
guy.
Yeah, he is. He's okay, but he I watched him in there coaching, and he relates good, and the kids seem to respond to him. But they, as far as coming here, I know both my grandchildren, that's all they talk about. We're going up to Tracy's. We're going to go do this. We're going to go do that. And you got a lot of my money through the month because
I appreciate it.
Because of Hunter. I mean, he gets it. Well, some of the services now you can restring the bows.
Yeah.
You change the poundage and everything. What about the arrows? Because I've heard different people talk about this arrow and that
we
arrow.
custom make them on most of them. When I say custom make, we custom put the vanes on, the feathers on them. We do that. Most of that's custom work. We cut them to length, depending on what bow you've got and what poundage and what draw length. That helps to have the right arrow for all that. So there's more to this than just walking in and saying I need an arrow that's this long, because that may not be the right arrow. There's more to it than that, to do it right.
Well, according to some of your students, they and one of them I've heard him talk a lot that he uses this draw for this release for this. Explain to me what they're talking about, or explain to the public.
You would have, you might have a guy or a girl that uses a lower poundage bow and a different release and a different arrow for target archery versus what they would use for deer hunting or elk hunting or turkey hunting or whatever. It's not always a one size fits all.
Well, do you have a lot of people that turkey hunts with bows?
Not a ton. I've done it. I enjoy bow hunting. That's basically the only way I want to kill big game. But for turkey hunting, I still honestly like to shoot them with a shotgun. I've killed a couple with a bow, but it's what I prefer.
Well, I know Hunter got him one with a bow,
yeah.
And he's very proud of that. He'll let me know right quick that, hey, I got one with a bow.
It makes it tougher usually.
Well, I would imagine so. But what are some of the other things that y'all do here?
We like to take people that's never done it before, and sometimes we'll do an introduction to archery. We don't normally do lessons unless you own your own bow. If we're gonna do lessons, everything needs to fit you right. Now, Ashley, one of the girls on our team, she does the National Archery in the Schools program. She does private lessons for those kids, and they don't necessarily have to own their own bow. We've got bows they can use. But if we're going to give actual lessons, we want the customer to have their own equipment.
All right, and you sell all that here.
Yes, sir.
And I noticed that you've got one section that use bows, so I'm assuming that they buy a bow from you, and then later on they want to purchase another bow.
Yep, they trade them in sometimes.
They trade them in.
We usually have a pretty good selection of used bows.
Well, I know I've dealt with that with Hunter. He's stepping up. I don't know what he's going to do when he becomes a man.
Buy his own.
That might be it. They might buy it on. Well, I know that y'all have kids in your archery teams that are not necessarily just from Tullahoma. And we're talking Tullahoma businesses now, but y'all draw them from the surrounding towns.
Yeah.
So how many students do you have right now?
I don't know. Our outdoor team, 3D team, usually isn't as big as our indoor, but our indoor will usually run starting off in the mid-40s, thereabouts, and then we'll use, we may lose 2 or 3 to whatever, but normally our indoor team has up in the 40s.
Well, here's a big one. We have discussed children with medical problems. So when you look at that, what are some of the advantages of, because I know that you had several kids that went through the program here that are champions, national champions, some of them's won scholarships. Tell the parents a little bit about that, to where they realize that there's things out here that their children can get involved in that could help them with their education down the road.
Yeah, it's I know we've had 2 kids, and I don't know about all the scholarships that all of them's won, but we had one kid graduate with over $200,000 in scholarship, and another one with over $300,000 in scholarships. But now, as far as what all of them's graduated with, I really don't know. I think we give away The seniors have to meet certain qualifications, but we do a $500 scholarship ourselves.
Well, I know that Josh has talked to me about this, and to me, I had 3 in college at the same time. I look at things that back when I was growing up, if I skipped school and went fishing, then I saw the woodshed when I got home. Now kids go fishing, get scholarships for college.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying, we were talking about hunting. This is ideal for people to get their kids involved in the archery.
It can help.
It can lead a lot because education gets expensive. The further you go, the more expensive it gets. Well, y'all stay pretty busy in here. Now we're going to check Jackson out. I just want to see how important he really is for you.
Now, he's pretty important.
Well, I noticed that he gets involved in just about everything in here.
Yeah.
I am still here at Taylor's Archery, but I am with Jackson Parrish, who works here, does a little bit of everything. Explain some of the things you do, Jackson.
So I work in the pro shop, so I work on bows, sell bows, set bows up, fix them, do anything on that side. I also help coach the S3DA team with Josh and Tracy and all them, and I also shoot.
All right. Well, you're going to explain something to us now. What's this bow here?
All right, so this is a Bowtech Reckoning. So this is a long axle-to-axle bow. It's 36 inches axle-to-axle, so it's going to be a more forgiving bow. It's going to be easier to shoot better. So this is my target bow. This is what I shoot indoor and 3D with. So this is my target bow. I've got it specifically set up to just shoot targets and only that.
All right. Well, now which one are you going to shoot first?
Whichever one you want me to.
Well, let's shoot this one.
All right. Hand me one of them red and black arrows there.
All righty. See how I helped? I did. Now, let's see if you can hit down there and don't hit my cameraman.
All right.
All right. Now, here's a question. Explain what this is.
So this is a mechanical release. So you don't shoot a bow with your fingers, you shoot a recurve with your fingers. But what this release does is it aids in a good, clean, smooth release of the bow. Now, there's multiple ways to shoot a release, and there's a right way and there's a wrong way. But this specific release makes it easy to do it the right way.
All right. So, and what's the maker of this?
This is a Stan release. Stan makes it. It's a thumb release. So how you make it go off is with your thumb, but you add pressure and then you just pull.
All right. All right. Now which bow are we going to now?
We'll go to my hunting bow now.
Going to go to the hunt bow. So now we're going to shoot the pig, right?
We'll shoot the pig now.
All right. I've been wanting to see that pig get shot ever since I come in here. All right, tell us about this bow.
All right, so again, this is a Bowtech, but this is a Core SR, so this is a 24 model bow, but it's shorter axle to axle, only 33 inches. So this bow is set on just a little over 70 pounds, as this one's set on 60. So this bow is made to be faster. It's made to kill stuff, and that's how I've got it set up to do, is to kill stuff.
All right. Well, let's see how good a shot you are. One dead pig. We're going to have ham for supper.
That's right.
This is good what y'all do in here, Jackson, I tell you. And I believe Tracy was talking about there's a lot of other things that y'all do that most of the time people who come in here, they bring their own bows. But he did explain that you have some bows right here that when people come in, if they're just looking at trying it out or checking it out, that they can use those bows.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's one right here. So we do lessons and we do introduction to archery. So a lesson is where we require them to have their own bow and we show them how to use it. An introduction to archery is where we'll let them use this bow that can fit fit a wide variety of people. And so with this bow, it's easy to set up for each person, but it also gives us the opportunity to show them all the parts of a bow, how it all works, and how to shoot it. Then if they decide they want to keep going and they want to get their own equipment, then an intro into archery turns into a lesson.
Well, the thing to start right now is the first thing I would say normally is let me try it. But I've got shoulder problems, so I'm not going to say that. I don't know that I could pull back 60, much less 70. And what are these on?
These right here go from like 6 to 22 pounds. You could pull it back.
I don't know.
You could do it.
But I will try it another time. Not that but I know that I've grabbed these bows before, and some of them, they are harder to pull back, but it's neat that y'all have got some in here that people just, they come in if they just want to see if they like it. This is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Well, as far as the tournaments and things like this, what's the months that they go through?
You mean the kids tournaments?
Yeah.
Or so indoor, we'll usually start the very first tournament, I think, is November, December, and then indoor nationals is usually early March, and then basically 3D starts. I think Josh usually takes about a 2-week break, but 3D starts shortly thereafter. I think the outdoor nationals is in June, and so they do have a little time off there in summer, early fall to just, if they want to come practice, they can. Right. And the ones that excel come and practice on their own, son.
Well, I noticed a lot of times I come in and there's kids in there shooting adults too. But now, is there adult tournaments around here also that people get involved in?
That one we just did out at the park for a charity, that was anybody. Then Total Archery Challenge was up here at Circle Lee Ranch this past weekend, and that's for anybody that wants to. I think they had 2,200 people registered. Right. And then we're looking at having possibly another tournament out at the park, maybe August time frame.
Well, that'd be good. Well, I tell you what, Tracy, I want you to let everybody know your location here, where you're located.
100 East Lauderdale Street.
Phone number to get in touch with you or the store.
931-563-7706.
And hours of operation.
Monday is 9 to 7. Tuesday through Friday is 11 to 7. Saturday, noon till 6.